Alright, good morning everybody. Hello and welcome to the stream. I figured I would start pre-stream since we got a good amount of people chatting it up in the stream chat. I said, why dilly-dally, why wait? I already posted up. If people were going to show up, they will. And I would like to welcome you all to my first of 2 gameplay streams for today. Today will be a nice, exciting day full of variety. A nice, chill Saturday, which I hope you are ready to enjoy. Today is actually Saturday, the 2nd of October, 2021. Hello, hello. How you doing? Welcome, my friends. Welcome to some fun stuff today. I am excited. I hope that you guys are excited too, just like I am. Got some interesting stuff to talk about today. Got to make a decision today about this gaming schedule for the coming week. Got some gaming news stories to talk about today. Some good stuff. So welcome, my friends. Welcome, welcome. So, if you were not here yesterday, first of all, you missed out. Yesterday was a great streaming day. Yesterday, excuse me, I tried out the Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania Collection for the very first time. I had never played Super Monkey Ball before. And what I'd like to do is give you guys my feedback on my first session ever of this Super Monkey Ball edition. Since a lot of people might want to have an outsider's perspective. Okay, first of all, it's very colorful. It's very chaotic, and it's very silly fun. I like the atmosphere of the game where it's just kind of happy-go-lucky silliness. Nothing's to be taken very seriously at all. You know, everything's cartoony and loud music and everything blaring and colors and everything. I like that about the game, okay? It was funny because when I started playing it, within the first, 30 minutes, I was thinking, man, this game isn't going to be very good. It's too easy. And then all of a sudden, the game got hard real fast. It got very challenging. At this point, I'm actually in the 4th world. But, man, there was a giant difficulty spike. And it was like, holy wow. That's way more tough than I thought it was going to be. Because at first you almost think, like, this is a small kid's game. And then you start playing like, whoa, wait a minute. This is, like, way harder than I expected. What I actually really like about the game is that it's not just a one-dimensional game. The game has all this extra content inside of it, including a ridiculous amount of mini-games that are based on all kinds of stuff, including sports. Like, you've got soccer, baseball, that kind of stuff. You've got piloting aircraft that reminded me of, like, Star Fox 64. You've got guns. You've got a boxing, top-down kind of game. You got racing that's similar to, like, Mario Kart. And I was like, wow, there's a lot of content in this game compared to what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was literally just do a bunch of challenge tracks and that was it. But this game actually had some substance to it. Alright? So I was having fun with it. To be honest. I was actually having a good amount of fun. And the stream kind of ended. For me, it felt like the stream ended quickly. Because it was the first time, again, I had ever been really exposed to this stuff. And I was having a good time, but man, it just felt like time flew by. So I'm excited to actually play more of it this coming week. However, just to be transparent with all of you, okay, there's no way that I'm playing that as a main gameplay stream again. That's definitely a game that's more catered towards night streaming, which is why this week I'm going to cut back on some of the other games I'm doing night streams on. For example, tomorrow night, we're essentially putting Microsoft Flight Simulator on the back burner so that I can do more games like Super Monkey Ball Collection, excuse me, as chill night streams instead, okay? So that being said, I had a really good time with the game. However, I'll be honest with all of you, I was very upset. I was very, very upset, okay? Because over the past week and a half, I've noticed a degradation in the quality of my videos. Now, I don't mean the visual quality. I mean, for some reason, the audio was desyncing from my streams and my on-demand videos on YouTube. And I was trying to figure out what could have been causing this. I tried unplugging, replugging in all the equipment. I tried changing out the HDMI cable. Nothing seemed to fix it. So after my Super Monkey Ball stream finished yesterday, I restarted my whole setup. And when I did that, guess what? It fixed the problem. So the good news here is, for those who've been enjoying my videos and maybe the past week or a week and a half, you've been like, man, it just seems like the audio's not synced right. It's fixed. Thank God. I was very disappointed that this was happening. And now it seems to be repaired. because it just was some issue with the PC. I don't know what it is. Maybe just needed a cold restart. Who knows? But it seems to have fixed it. So my apologies if you watch videos from like the last 7-8 days on YouTube. A lot of them do have a lot of audio desync issues. But now that should be fixed. And quite frankly, Super Monkey Ball, I wouldn't be surprised if those watching it on YouTube are like, it's kind of frustrating. It doesn't look right. But now it should be good moving forward. So, thanks for being patient. And thank you to those who actually were giving me the heads up about that. Because at first I hadn't caught it. I didn't even know it was happening. And it wasn't until people started bringing it up regularly that I looked into it and figured out, oh crap, I need to fix this. And then we got it to the bottom of it. Okay? Last night's Street Fighter session went well as well. Street Fighter went pretty good. Overall, I'd say we had a lot of good matches, which is excellent that happened. Sometimes we have not very many good matches because the matchmaking's not working or the lobby system's screwed up or because of trolling. But I would argue last night was one of the better nights. So if you did not see that, check it out on DSPGaming On Demand, all right? And now we are here to today. So let's talk about today, because today should be a very interesting and a very fun streaming day. So we start off today with the continuation of Lost Judgment, okay? Game that is going to be an incredibly lengthy playthrough. Why do I say that? Well, because it's been out for about a week and a half, and I'm only in Chapter 3, and I'm in the middle of a million pieces of side content. Like, the game seems to have more side content than any game from this studio before. It seriously looks like that. There's not only the normal open-world roaming missions in the city, where you will, come upon so much weird stuff, but at the same time, this game also has its own school stories that are based on high school life. And you have all these different clubs you're unlocking. It's like, dude, this is like endless content. I could be doing this for weeks and weeks and weeks on end at this point. So just so everyone knows, I was already planning on having Lost Judgment be an extended playthrough that was going to last quite a long time. And this is definitely not an exception here. It's definitely going to be probably months before we see the end of this game, considering I'm still in Chapter freaking 3. Okay? Now what's going to happen is, as new releases start to come out later on this week, Lost Judgment is going to become a game that I'm going to be doing on night streams, okay? For now, it's still daytime streams because, there's really not much else going on during the day, but coming this week, there's multiple new releases. The Alan Wake Remaster, Far Cry 6, Metroid Dread, and the Battlefield demo. The Battlefield beta. So with all of that coming up, and undoubtedly there will be demand to see that, it is going to be Lost Judgment on late streams moving forward. So late streams are going to be an interesting mix. You're going to have Lost Judgment, you're going to have Super Monkey Ball, you're going to have Hades thrown in there every once in a while, and then a weekly late night session of Street Fighter. So that's a lot to do on the late streams, but that's what it's going to be for a bit. Okay? Holy crap. So, whew, what a bunch of stuff coming up, all right? So Lost Judgment today. I hope you guys will chill with me. And what I mean by that is when I play Lost Judgment, it really is a chill stream. There's a lot of opportunity for interaction because the game has so much narrative in it. And there's a lot of quirkiness to the writing and everything that's kind of entertaining. I hope you guys will just kind of sit back and relax and chill with me today and have a good one. Interaction is key during a game like this where it's very narrative heavy. Okay, so I hope you guys will enjoy. Later tonight, we're doing more Hades, my friends, and Hades has really picked up the last few streams since I started using the Adamant Rail gun and a crazy good build. I've already cleared the game twice, and now I'm going to clear the game possibly a third time tonight if things go according to plan, but I'll be honest here, I don't know if they're going to go according to plan. Here's why. This third run, I haven't had as good RNG as I had the last two, so I don't have all the perks and things that I feel I would need to really clear it as easily, and I might have some issues shortly. So we'll see, starting tonight, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time. I'm excited for more Hades tonight. Can I clear it for the 7th out of 10 times? Once you clear it 10 times, you see the true ending, and that's the ending of the game. So we're getting there, okay? Tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, will be the conclusion of Kena Bridge of Spirits. I am currently back in the main hub town where I'm doing some open world exploration, and I could solve a bunch of puzzles now because I actually got some new abilities and things that I can use. Once we're done with that, we go to the final area of the game, which is basically the final dungeons and stuff, and then it's the end game content, the finale. So definitely going to beat it tomorrow, and I'm excited for that. I hope you guys will join me for that. Kena has actually been a really good game, especially in the fact that some people didn't think it would be as good as it actually turned out, in my opinion. It actually turned out much better than I think a lot of people actually thought it would be. A first outing for this gaming studio, which really wasn't a gaming studio. They were an animation studio. And the fact that they've turned out such a great game, I think a lot of people are shocked that, oh my God, how did they do so good for their first outing, right? So, yes, I'm looking forward to the conclusion tomorrow, and I hope you guys are too, okay? All right, so as I said, tomorrow night, Sunday night, will be the final stream of Microsoft Flight Simulator for the foreseeable future. Reason being, we have so many releases out now. Like I said, I'm going to be juggling Lost Judgment with Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania, with Hades, and then with my weekly Street Fighter session. That's going to be all the night streams. We're not going to have time to be doing Flight Sim at this point. Flight Sim was a really cool, chill thing to do during the summer, all right? And it was very entertaining. I loved doing Flight Sim with you guys. I loved touring different places in the world and everything. Well, I feel like it's now run its course, and it's time to move on to bigger and better things. All right, so I'm not saying it'll never come back. I'm just saying for now it's not going to be a regular thing anymore. So tomorrow will be the send-off stream. If you've had ideas of final places that we should go for this final stream, by all means, please share. And if that means that we go to Connecticut tomorrow and I fly over my old haunts and where I used to live and everything, then we could do that. Okay? I guess we'll have to see how that goes. Okay, so that's tomorrow. Monday, ladies and gentlemen, Monday is the return of my bi-monthly Q&A podcast show, Ask the King. I really like doing this show because I really focus in on answering your questions in an extended format. Not to say that I don't answer your questions on a daily basis. Obviously, I do. But on the daily shows here, I basically just very quickly try to go through your questions and give as best answers as I can. While on this dedicated podcast, I can actually take the time to give way more in-depth answers for what you guys are asking. And I really like doing that because a lot of people have questions they want answered, or maybe things that they've always wondered about. This is an opportunity, to ask about that stuff. So that's going to be on Monday. Now, that's a little bit later than usual. My typical daytime streams actually start around, they usually start around, like 12:45 a.m. But in this particular case, this stream is going to start at like noon or 12:30 p.m. because it gives me extra time to review your questions. Considering that Monday is going to be Ask the King, I strongly recommend, if you have not asked your questions yet, do so. What on earth are you waiting for, right? What are you waiting for? Get those questions submitted so I can answer them live on the show, all right? So, how do you do that? You can type ! Ask the King into the stream chat. That's one way. Or, you can, if you're a member, a channel member, I have a post that's posted up on my community tab for members only access, and you can post up that way, and members will have priority access for those questions. The day of, also, I'll be posting up on my Twitter, although admittedly, it's much harder to get your question answered in that manner. So I strongly recommend, if you really do want to get your question answered, post it up ahead of time, okay? So anyway, that's going to be a great show. I'm definitely excited for it. I hope that you guys are too. And then Monday night will be more Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania. All right, so that's my second ever session of Super Monkey Ball. I hope you guys will join me for that because, like I said, it was really chill fun. And I really liked how the game played that first time. With the variety and the challenge of the stages now. It's getting really ramped up and challenging. Tuesday. So I have some answers for you guys now. Because Tuesday is my final streaming day this week. Wednesday will actually be my day off. And some people have been asking, well, what's going to happen on Tuesday? Because it's a double new release day. All right, I have the answers. So listen up, my friends. Listen up. You're going to want to know what's going on Tuesday. Okay? First of all, absolutely positively, I am playing Alan Wake Remastered. I'm actually very excited for Alan Wake Remastered because this is a game that I really enjoyed playing back in the day. I thought that it was quite entertaining and fun. It has a really cool supernatural plot line, exploring this small town in the mountains and basically trying to figure out what's going on with these supernatural elements in the game. Monsters going around and you have to try to kill them with your flashlight and stuff. It's really neat. It reminds me of the plot lines of, say, the show Twin Peaks, or a few other different things. And I really enjoyed it the first time around that I played it. Although, admittedly, I'll say this now, years and years later, I feel that this game actually would be better for interactive streaming than it was for the original playthrough years ago. Reason being, the game does get kind of grindy as you play through it. It actually does feel a little bit like, okay, it's like an endurance test at points to get through all the combat. However, if you're with a live interactive audience streaming, that's a whole different thing entirely. Now you can, I can talk with you guys, we can have conversation while I'm doing the kind of grindy parts of the combat. The story itself is good, but the combat is what really I feel brings it down. About halfway through, it starts to get really repetitive, I felt. So, that should be exciting starting on Tuesday. Now, the other game coming out this Tuesday, I have been debating about if I was going to do it or not for a while, and after talking back and forth with you guys, I think I've come to a determination. So let's talk about that. The game that I'm talking about is the Nickelodeon All-Stars game. Okay? This is a game where basically all your favorite characters from Nickelodeon properties, including Ren and Stimpy, Rocko's Modern Life, Rugrats, Hey Arnold, SpongeBob SquarePants, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, among many others. That's just a few of the characters that are in this game, okay? These characters duke it out is essentially in a Super Smash Brothers style game, okay? Now, on paper, that sounds really good. Like, when I first heard about this game, I was like, man, this could be really cool. That sounds like something that might be very interesting to check out, because have you ever seen that kind of an amalgamation of characters before? I mean, you could argue that Sony tried this years ago with PlayStation All-Stars, and it flopped miserably. But maybe it's because the PlayStation characters just didn't have enough appeal, or maybe it's because the game just didn't play very well. I don't know. I don't know why that game flopped. I played it. I thought it was okay. It wasn't great. And quite frankly, over the years, we haven't really seen much competition for the Smash Brothers franchise, right? We just haven't. It's usually Smash Brothers is the game that's like that, and not many other games have really followed suit or tried to copy. Just Smash Brothers has that part in the gaming landscape, and no one else really tries to get that party combat atmosphere. However, ladies and gentlemen, there's a few things about this game, a few caveats, as you would say, a few drawbacks to this game. All right? The first is, it doesn't have any content outside of versus content. Unlike Smash Brothers, which typically has like a single-player campaign and a story and a bunch of other game modes, this game apparently is kind of bare bones. It was made primarily just to be combat against other people, and that's really the focus of it. So, that just from the get-go, for me, that's actually disappointing. Because for me, I'm looking for a game that's going to have replayability and a game that's going to have longevity. And when you're telling me all I can do is play against people online, there's nothing else to the game, like, immediately that kind of turns me off. It makes me feel like, man, I don't know, what kind of long-term hold would this have on a stream? Would it even be entertaining after a couple of streams? If we're just doing random online play or whatever, versus having other content, you know what I'm saying? Now, in addition to that, I've basically been asking around over the weekend and saying, gee, would you guys be interested if I played this game or not? And it seems to be a mixed opinion for sure. Some people are of the opinion that, yeah, this would be something interesting for variety. And others are like, nah, maybe not. Okay? Here's my take on it. Okay? And this is just basically what I think would happen here. If I were to get Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, I feel like the first couple of streams would be quite interesting, because I'd be checking out the game for the first time. It would be my first time trying out certain characters, and some of these characters are from cartoons and stuff that I used to watch when I was much younger, so I think it would be pretty neat to be checking that out. Okay? But being that the fact the game does not have any long-term content at all in it, like, it's just online play, that's it. Okay? If the online play isn't good, meaning if it's kind of laggy, then that immediately is going to ruin the appeal of the game. Can you imagine buying this game and you go to play online and every match is laggy? It's like, and this is the meat of the game. Like, there's nothing else to it. Right? So right off the get-go, that's kind of a major negative, because if the online play sucks, there's nothing else to do. Okay? That's number one. Number two, I feel that this is the kind of game that maybe I would play it a couple times, and yes, it would be very entertaining those first few times. Do I want to see how Michelangelo stacks up against Reptar? Sure I do. That sounds funny as hell, right? And I think that would be entertaining for a bit. But I think a couple things might happen that maybe would negate our entertainment factor. And the first is, at first, you know, everyone will be flubbing about not knowing what the hell they're doing, okay? But for those people who are hardcore into games like Smash Brothers, I think they're actually going to play this game and take it seriously. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not just going to be messing around with this game. They're going to be like, oh, we got to take this game like ultra serious, ultra hard. And so they're going to be playing it and trying to find out top tier strategies and what, you know, within like a week of the game being out, I guarantee you there will be people playing it hardcore. They'll dissect the effing game, right? And within a week, everything out there will be top tier strategy gameplay and everything. This is what happens with every online competitive game. Seriously, these days it's so different from how it used to be. Back in the day, it was like, okay, a multiplayer game comes out, people mess around with it a little bit, it's kind of fun, but it's nothing too serious. Now it's like every game is ultra fucking serious, ultra tryhards, gotta jump on and study online videos and streams, and we, you know what I mean? Like, everything must be top tier competitive shit. So I feel like the first session or two would be fun. And then after that, it would be like, oh my god, how do I even play this when every time I play, I'm getting everyone who fucking found out every abusive strategy and shit. You know what I'm saying? All well and good. Games are fun until Helga whoops your ass and you can't even hit her once for like 10 matches. You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of the opinion that, looking at all things considered, that maybe I shouldn't get this. You know, I'm kind of feeling like, especially with all the other things that are currently out, that maybe this would not be a good idea, because I'm really strongly feeling that if I get it, I'll pay $40 for it, because I think that's what it is. The thing is $40, right? $39.99. It'll be great for a stream or two, and then after that, it's not going to be fun anymore, and I'm going to be struggling to figure out where do I fit this in when I'm trying to do Super Monkey Ball and continue on with Hades and do late night streams of Lost Judgment. So now what's going to end up happening is I'll play these games only like once a week, and there'll be like zero progress in anything, and that's just going to disappoint a lot of people. You see? The difference between this game and Smash was Smash had a robust campaign. When you played through Smash Brothers, you had a lot of stuff going on in Smash Brothers. You know what I mean? Like, there was a lot of content in that game, so it had longevity. I remember I played the campaign for like a week and a half, 2 weeks, plus I was playing it online all at once. So it was like all this content out of the game. And I really feel like dropping this game, you know what I mean? Or excuse me, not dropping, but playing this game, I don't know. If this game had come out, if Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl was coming out like any other month, maybe it would have made more sense. But it kind of like, to me, it's like, man, why the hell is it coming out now when there's a million other games coming out within the next few weeks, all of which I want to make progress in? You know what I'm saying? Like, I really wish it had come out at a different time. Because I feel like if it did, I would have sat down and enjoyed this game. But I almost feel like the timing makes it almost impossible to enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I keep thinking about it. And the more I think about it, I'm like, maybe I should focus in on the other things that I'm more interested in anyway. Because this was going to be a game that I was thinking would be like a filler thing for night streams. But the fact that I'm going to have so much else going on. And the other thing about a game like this is if you don't play it when it's new, you might as well not play it at all. And I mean that too. Like, a game like Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, it'll be very fun to play. It'll be very fun to play at one point. But then after a couple weeks, because everyone knows the top tier strategies and shit, it just won't be worth playing at all. So, if I don't play it at launch, I think it's a skip. And quite frankly, at this point, thinking more and more about it, and about the schedule and everything going on, and the fact that I don't even know if I have a lot of time to play it, I think it's probably going to be a skip for me. Alright? So, just being honest, I would rather tell you guys up front than have everyone wondering if I'm going to play it on Tuesday, and then I decide against it. I'd rather just tell you now, I don't think I'm getting it. Unless, the only situation where I would play it is if, like, people all of a sudden the next day get, like, you know, copies of it, and they're like, oh my god, it's, like, so good, it's better than Smash, it's seriously the most fun ever. Then maybe I would consider it. But I just don't think it's worth it. $40 for a game I'm going to play once or twice, then by the time I get back to it, people are already going to be dominating with fucking hardcore shit online. It's not fun anymore. Just frustrating. And then people wanting to see more of it, and I can't fit it into the schedule. You know? So So I think that's the deal. All right, I think that's the deal, and there you go. So what does that mean? Since I won't be playing it, okay, it means that there's going to be a lot more time for other games. It means that those night streams will absolutely be focused on Lost Judgment, Super Monkey Ball, Hades, and Street Fighter, okay? And that's good. That's a good thing to be able to focus in on just a few things and not say, oh, every night's a different game and now we get no progress in any game, okay? So, thank you for understanding. I know some people will be disappointed. I know. I'm kind of disappointed because, like I said, I was actually looking forward to it for a bit. And then looking at the landscape of everything coming out in the next few weeks, I was like, I don't know how I'm going to make this happen, okay? So now what this means is that Tuesday night is now open. And Tuesday night, I can do whatever I want. So what am I going to do Tuesday night? Well, it'll either be more Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania or it'll be Hades. It'll be one of the two, depending on how things are going. I'm not sure how I want to end my streaming week this week. I'll have to think about it. I'm playing Super Monkey Ball again Monday night, and I don't know how long the game is. I'm currently in World 4. I don't know if the game has like 10 worlds or whatever. I have no idea. So we'll see as I continue to play that. Maybe I'll want to do more of that because it's such zany fun, or maybe we'll want to do some variety and do some Hades instead. Okay, so there you go. And I hope that makes sense. And again, I know some people will be disappointed, and I'm sorry if you are. But there's nothing I can really do about it. This is just a bad time of the year for a game like that. It just is. They could have released this during the spring. They could have released this during the summer. Hell, they could have released this during December. And it would have done better than what I feel. I think it's going to be completely lost in the shuffle of all these crazy games coming out right now. Okay? Alright, so, Wednesday, I'm off from streaming. Okay? When I return on Thursday, I believe there's a new game release. That's how crazy things are right now. Yeah, isn't the new release is Far Cry 6 on Thursday. And yes, I absolutely will be playing Far Cry 6 on Thursday. Then on Friday, there's another new game release. Metroid Dread. Absolutely yes, I'll be playing Metroid Dread on Friday. Okay? So the main games that I'm going to be playing are going to be the Alan Wake Remaster, Far Cry 6, and Metroid Dread. And those are going to be alternated as the main daytime streams, and then the night streams will be Lost Judgment, Super Monkey Ball, and Hades with a little bit of Street Fighter once a week. By the way, next week is Back for Blood. Oh my god. I know, this is just insane. Right? This is just insane. There's so many. And I'll be honest, I don't know how I'm going to really get through them all. The good news is after Back for Blood, there's nothing for over a week. Like, Back for Blood comes out on the 12th, and then the next game coming out I'm interested in is 10 days later, the Dark Pictures House of Ashes. So at least I'll have, like, over a week to focus in on those games. But, oh my god. And the thing is, Far Cry is going to be long. Far Cry is always lengthy. It's always at least 20 hours long, right? I almost guarantee you Metroid Dread will probably be pretty lengthy. Like, these are not short games. So, man, I don't know what's going to happen with this stuff. Man. Swaggins, why are you saying, listen to what he said, he said, back for money by cashing in on the name of an outdated grand hose. Then he typed again, he said, what the fuck? I typed franchise. Listen, Swaggins, it's okay if you want to talk about your grand hose. We understand. Some people just like to brag. But please keep it out of the realm of the gaming talk that we're having, okay? Okay. That was funny. It's a grand hose. What the hell? Anyway, Swaggins with the flex. He's got a flex on stream. He's like, oh, man. So I just got to whip out the grand host sometimes. What can I say? Anyway. All right. So that's the streaming. That's the streaming schedule. This is insane. This month is absolutely out of control with the streaming stuff, guys. And I want to say thank you to those understanding this is going to be one of the busiest gaming times of the year. If there's a game you absolutely love, let me know what it is. If there's a playthrough I'm going to be doing the next couple of weeks and you start watching it, you're like, wow, I really love this one. I hope we'll play it more. Please let me know. I'd be very willing to adjust my schedule to play more of the game you guys like more. At this point, I have no idea what that's going to be. I really have no clue. I get the feeling that some of these games are going to be busts. But the thing is, there's so many games coming out, it's okay if one or two of them ain't so great, because you got other things to fall back on, which is good. So let's see what happens in the next couple of weeks. Okay? Now, a few housekeeping things. I already mentioned Ask the King is Monday. Please post up your questions for Ask the King. It's basically your last chance today and tomorrow to do so. I'm excited to do that show on Monday, so thank you in advance to anyone who posts up by typing !" Ask the King into the stream chat. Or again, if you are a channel member, check out the community tab here on the channel, and you can post up questions there if you have not yet. Outside of that, the Halloween event is now in full swing, meaning I am currently actively looking for a Halloween costume. I got some ideas 2 days ago on my day off, but this Wednesday I'll be going to another Halloween store and checking more costumes out. And then I should have a much better idea of what's available out there to let you guys know some options and things that I'm considering. Okay? So, please be patient. You can currently nominate games for the upcoming Halloween event by typing ! Halloween into the stream chat. What I'll likely do is let that run for the first week of October. Then at the end of this week, I'll tally up the nominations. I'll see what was most nominated and create a poll for you guys to vote on. Same thing with channel members. There's a community post that's for members only right here on the channel where people are nominating games. Please nominate if you haven't yet. And I'm going to tally those up and do a poll exclusively just for the members. And whatever wins the members poll will make it to the final poll by default. Okay? So all that's currently going on. And then later this month, once I have a better idea of the Halloween costumes that are out there and available, then you guys are going to be voting on a category of Halloween costume for me to wear. Now, admittedly, depending on the good costumes I find, I'm going to try to guide you guys towards categories that make sense. For example, right now, I found 3 costumes, and I would argue one of them is one category, and 2 of them are another. So what I'd probably like to do is find a costume that's good for one more category, and then let you guys vote between the 3. And that would, that way, no matter what, I'm going to have a good costume. You see? We'll have to see what happens with what I find on Wednesday. So, should be a good time. Outside of all of that, ladies and gentlemen, it is a new month. It is the fall. And if you were not here yesterday, you really missed out because we got all the new fall festivities in effect. First of all, guys, I want to show this to you again. Here we are with my Halloween decorations for the year. They're pretty much a rehash of the things I've done over the last, 3 years. Admittedly, I didn't really have a lot of time or money to put stuff together this year, so I just took a lot of the stuff I previously had. Like, we got Potion, we got Bone Meal, we got Peter the Spider, and we got the Happy Ghost there. We got a furry spider to my left. We got a nice garland and lights and everything. It's pretty cool. There's also new animations in effect on the streams. If you tip $10, there's a new animation. If you tip $20, there's a new animation. If you do a super chat, I think of any level, all the way up to $20, there's all new animations. The only one that's the same is the one over 20, which is the chair spin. I wanted to keep that animation going because I really like that one. I know that's one of your favorites as well. So we have all this stuff going on, festive-wise, and the overlay also has changed to be orange for the month of October, as I always change it. I'll show you that too. Orange overlay. Pretty cool for October, right? So all this festive stuff going on. And thank you guys in advance for any contributions on the stream. I appreciate it. That's why I put together all this fun stuff to say thank you. And, I'm a crowdfunded individual. I rely on you guys liking the content that I do because I am an independent content creator and supporting it via crowdfunding. That's how I make my living. I don't have any sponsorships. I don't have any partnerships. All I do is stream games, and I'm honest with you guys 100% of the time about the games I'm playing because I don't have to answer to anyone. I don't have to kiss a game's butt. I can tell you on the fly exactly how I feel about what I'm playing, and people really seem to like that about me, and they know that they can get honesty from me when they watch my streams, and that's why a lot of people tune in every day. So thank you in advance to anyone who contributes in any way. Let's talk about ways to contribute and how that works. First of all, memberships. We have dropped a few memberships in the last few days, okay? Admittedly, we dropped 7. Okay, I think at one point we were $293, now we're at $283. Okay? Membership goal for the month of November is a 2-tiered membership goal. Okay? If we hit 325 total members this month, there's going to be a new hat added into the mix. Now, here's the thing, guys. Right now, we're very limited with the hats that I can wear on stream because a lot of the times when I'm playing these new releases, I'm wearing headphones, right? Right? So I can't really wear whatever hat I want because if I got headphones on, I can't wear all the big hats and stuff. But later this month, I'm getting a headset. I already pre-ordered it and paid for it on Amazon. That's going to be wearing around the neck. It's a wireless headset that sits around your neck and it plays audio straight up to your ears. And when you get that open air kind of noise, I won't have to wear on-head headphones anymore. That means I'll be able to wear whatever hat I want. If you guys want the silly military hat every stream, you can have it. Or we could do all kinds of new hats on the streams, okay? And so the goal for this month, 325 members, if we hit that at any point during November, excuse me, I assume November, if we hit that at any point during October, okay, a new hat will be added to the rotation. What will happen is we'll talk about it, like we'll brainstorm what kind of hats are you guys interested in. I'll see what's available, and then I'll get a new hat, maybe like a wacky style hat to wear on the streams, okay? So that's the tier 1 members goal, and I think that's pretty cool. We haven't really done anything like that interactive before. Then if we hit the tier 2 members goal, all right, tier 2, which is 350 members, then I'm going to be doing a new viewers choice event. What that means is you guys will be able to nominate and then vote on games that will become a full playthrough here on my streams. Now, there will definitely be limitations. Likely I will not make insanely lengthy RPGs or insanely lengthy visual novels eligible anymore, because every time I do one of those, it takes me 3-4 months to beat them, and I just don't have time for that crap. All right, I'd rather do something that's, you know, much more digestible and much more fun. I can play it more in the short term and actually see the end before the middle of 2022. Okay, but viewers' choice events have turned out to be very well. I mean, just think of some of the games that I've played over the years: the Sonic series, Super Mario Sunshine, Persona, Yakuza, just recently, Fallout New Vegas. That was a viewer's choice. So some of the best playthroughs I've done have been viewer's choice event playthroughs. Now you may say, now wait a minute. Why is this such a high goal? 350 members, that's a big stretch. I mean, right now, that's almost 60 plus members. Why so many? Well, I'll tell you why. Because it's a great reward that's very lengthy. This is a reward that's going to last months as I play through a game. That shouldn't be a reward that we can hit easy. It should be a reward that really it takes a concerted effort by a lot of people supporting the channel to hit that reward. You see what I'm saying? This shouldn't be something that, oh, we just do right away. So that's what I mean. The hat reward, oh, that's an easy one. That one we can sit down, we can talk about hats. I can easily order a hat, boom, add it to the stream relatively quickly. As opposed to, oh, here's a game I'm going to play at length. This could affect my streams for months and months. That should be one that is a stretch, you see? So, that's the idea. Now, if you're not a channel member, man, you're missing out. Think of all the benefits you get being a channel member. First of all, just this month, there were 2 priority things that channel members got to do. Both Ask the King questions as well as nominations for the Halloween event were done by channel members at a priority basis. So it was 2 priority things you got for being a member. And there will be many more things like that coming up in the future. Okay? In addition to that, you get a cool highlighted name in chat. You get a chat crown badge next to your name to show how long you've been a supporter. Later this month, people who've been members for 5+ months will get a new crown, which is going to be really sweet to see that finally. You get access to all of my emotes. You don't have to wait for the slow mode rules. You can talk as much as you want in chat. Like, there's many, many benefits to being a channel member. So I hope that you guys will consider it if you're not. And if you want to see a new hat added to the streams, you want to have a fun viewer's choice event, please become a channel member in the month of October. Okay? Awesome. Thumbs up. You could do a super chat or a super sticker if you want to support the channel. This is a way you could do through YouTube itself. YouTube is a process by which you can do a highlighted message in the chat and send some funds along with that to support the streamer. I appreciate those. I give a shout out for every membership and every super chat and super sticker because I appreciate how many people want to support this channel in the long term, and that's exactly what those are. Those are long-term methods of support. However, if you want to support this channel in the short term, if you want to help me out the most possible, please consider tipping me during today's stream. Tips actually help the channel more than other ways for 2 main reasons. The first is because when you tip me, I get that immediately. A tip I get to spend on a bill, to go grocery shopping, to buy a new game, to add something else to the stream, to pay taxes, whatever it may be. Those tips immediately are available for me to do important stuff with. So that's number 1. Number 2, tips have less of them taken out as a transactional fee as opposed to the other methods of contribution. Meaning, I get more of a cut of a tip you send me than if you do a membership or a super chat or something else, you see? So please consider tipping me if you want to support the stream directly and help me out in the most. Now, because the tips help the most, that's why we have reward goals in effect for tips. If I raise $50 in tips today, I will put on a pair of Gunner glasses in celebration. If we raise $100 in tips today, I'm going to put up a poll for you guys to vote on a hat for me to wear on today's stream. A silly hat. And then if we hit the full tips goal of $150, I will put on a vest of your choice. And yesterday, if you can believe it, we did hit the tips goals. So that means for the first time in a long time, the red and the platinum vest is not eligible today. Today, the vests eligible are as follows: the beige, the camo, the denim, and the gold. Okay? We haven't even seen some of those in quite some time. So, that'd be pretty cool to actually have a different kind of vest on stream today. All right? And that can be made possible, again, by tipping me. Please consider tipping me if you can. That is the best way to contribute. You can do that by typing !tip into the stream chat. And thank you in advance to anyone who tips. All right? Now, there's actually another contribution method that I don't mention that often, but this time of year it makes sense because I'm spending so much money on games coming up, okay? So many games coming out just in the next few weeks that I know I'm going to have to drop money on. If you would like to contribute by donating credits to the popular gaming networks, including PlayStation Network, the Xbox Live Network, or Nintendo, you can do that by typing !wishlist into the stream chat. And if you do that, a link will pop up. You can click on it. It goes to my Amazon wish list that has those currency denominations, or whatever you want to say, whatever you want to call them. And if you buy something there, you can email me the code from it to darksidephil@hotmail.com, and I will use that to buy games over the next couple of months. Right? Right now is the heaviest time of year to drop money on games, so I appreciate anyone who contributes in any way. But in particular, if you really wanted to help me out with the cost of games, this is the way to do it. Okay? So check out the wish list. You'll see a bunch of stuff on there to, for the cost of games, and please consider doing it. But remember, if you do get it, you have to send me the code via email to darksidephil@hotmail.com, or else I won't get the code. Okay? All right. I've covered all the contribution methods, so before we get to shoutouts, what I would like to do is talk about a couple news stories. Okay? First of all, currently people are playing a Halo closed beta. I don't know how the hell you got into this thing. I guess you had to register for it somewhere, request it, because it definitely wasn't openly available, and certainly I didn't get an invite. I'm interested because Halo Infinite, we haven't had a Halo in so many years. This is supposed to be a reboot effort, and I hope it turns out well. People playing the game are actually saying, yes, it's great. They're actually saying this is the first time in a very long time that Halo feels like a new game, and it's something that they really put a lot of time and effort into. They're saying the graphics look great, both on the Xbox Series X and the Series S. The gameplay has been refined and feels a lot more faster paced and interesting than it previously had been. It's smooth. Like, people are basically saying, yeah, it's really good. Now, a lot of people are reacting differently to this. The thing is, you got to remember, is that Halo has now been in the hands of its parent company that created the franchise, Bungie, in many, many years. 343 Industries, I hate to say it, I really don't feel like they did a good job with this game the past couple of outings. I just don't. I feel like they kind of botched it. Like, they had opportunity to do something great with this franchise, and the last two games, both Halo 4 and 5, I don't think were very good. That's my opinion from playing them back in the day, years and years ago. I just don't think they were very good at all. Okay? So to me, seeing that people are playing the beta and saying it's actually quite good, like we're enjoying ourselves, that's a good sign. But at the very same time, I got to be questioning about that, because I hate to say it, a lot of people were saying that Halo 4 and 5 were good, and I don't think they were good. And it's quite frank that if this franchise has been now dead for so many years and they really had to go back to the drawing board to reimagine the series for Halo Infinite, then obviously sales numbers weren't as great as they would have liked, or else they wouldn't have done that, right? They would have just kept pumping out the same stuff, which they're not doing this time. So, to me, my opinion is I want it to be good. I actually would like Halo to be a competitor in the first-person shooter scene again. I would. It's been a long time. I used to play Halo 3 hardcore when it came out back in 2009. I loved the game. 2008. I loved the game. Actually, was it 2007? No, it was 2007, because it was the year before I started making YouTube videos. That's right. I really enjoyed it. Okay, I thought it was a great game. And I was disappointed to see that after that, all they basically did was expansions. Halo ODST, Halo Reach. And the next thing you know, now the company, it's with a new company, and these games now suck. When you play Halo 4 and 5, it doesn't feel like Halo. It feels like you're playing any other generic first-person shooter. It, lost its identity. It really did. And that's a shame, because it really was unique before then, and I'm hoping that they go back to those roots and make it feel like its own identity again. I don't want to play another franchise skinned to look like Halo, you see? So let's see what happens. I hope it's good, but the good news is people are liking this beta. So that's good news. It's better than, oh, people are kind of like, oh, I don't like it. Most people seem to be enjoying it, and that's a good thing. Although I have no idea how they got into it, and I don't know if these are just industry insiders or people who are, hopefully these aren't people who are just kissing Microsoft's butt for the sake of kissing Microsoft's butt. I really hope not. I hope they're being honest and that the game actually is good. But I'm excited to see what turns out, and that's December, right? I hope so. Because like I said, this year, Call of Duty finally has competition. You got a new Battlefield coming out, and you're going to have Halo Infinite. Everyone who has an Xbox is going to play Halo Infinite under Game Pass. So it's going to be an installed user base right from the get-go. So you got to hope that they put out a product that's going to be entertaining. I hope so. I really do. I genuinely wish it ends up being good. So, yeah, there you go. So Swaggin says, I was watching someone play the beta. It looks pretty fun. They're able to sprint around and grapple on the map. It makes it feel a lot more fast-paced, and it's it's going to be on Game Pass. Right. Oh, I hope so. So anyway, that's one thing. The other thing that I saw this morning, I don't know if I ever thought I would see this, but holy crap. So, I've heard of plagiarism before, but I never heard of this. There's a Chinese game developer, okay? And this game developer has been making games that apparently are quite popular in China, all right? But outside of China, no one really knows who this game developer is. But the thing is, China is such a huge market that games that are popular in China can be multi-million dollar, in some cases, multi-billion dollar games just because the market's so huge and so profitable, okay? So, there's a company that makes this game, Dula Continent Soul Master Duel. The name of the company is 37 Interactive, okay? Now, this game, by the way, I should call this out. This game is incredibly popular. It's sold very well in China. The game is so popular, they actually have had mainstream ads for the game featuring actors like Jackie Chan, okay? So this is big shit. They've paid big budget to advertise the game, and the game is sold crazy popular over in China, okay? The reason I'm bringing this up, you're like, why would Phil be bringing this up on his stream today? They released a trailer for their new expansion. The trailer is literally frame for frame a stolen trailer. It's actually the trailer for Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers, which was the major expansion for Final Fantasy XIV. I don't know if that came out yet or if it's coming out later this year. I don't follow MMOs. But I'm watching it right now on my phone. Frame for fucking frame. It's the same trailer. Like, it almost looks to me like they somehow got the source code for the trailer and they reverse engineered it, because it doesn't even look to me like they copied the animation frame for frame. They actually, like, ripped it frame for frame. Like, out there's code somewhere of this trailer, and they got the code, and they just ripped it, because it's identical. They skinned it completely different. So the characters are different characters, the effects are different, but it's literally the same trailer. It looks exactly the same. It would be like if you were watching Lord of the Rings, and then you were watching a Star Wars movie, and for like 5 minutes, the scenes were identical, only in Lord of the Rings it was fantasy characters, and the other one it was like space, sci-fi, but it's the same scene. Imagine that. Imagine in one, it's Gandalf is throwing fireballs, and in the other one, it's like, Han Solo firing his laser beam, but it's the same exact action scene, right? Like, that's exactly what they did. They literally ripped the entire animation of the trailer and used it. Now, what's crazy about this is obviously, you can't even defend this. This is blatant plagiarism, okay? But are there even international laws that cover that? You know what I'm saying? Like, China seems to be like its own thing. They do their own thing, and they run by their own rules. So does that even mean, could the makers of Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringer even do anything about this? It's so blatantly, like, stolen. But is there any law that would say, can we go after this company for this, right? And what's funny about this is, I started reading the comments about this on social media, and essentially the way that people are saying is, well, I live in China, or I know people who live in China, and here's the thing about China and their culture. In China, their culture is about being number one at any cost. There is this ingrained piece of Chinese culture that everyone else around you is better than you. Whether it's your neighbor, whether it's the other kids at school, everyone else somehow has a bigger advantage over you. They're smarter than you. They're stronger than you. And no matter what, it is your end goal in life to surpass everyone around you by any means necessary. If you work harder, great, but that's not necessarily the only means to do it. If it means lying, cheating, and stealing to get ahead, you do that to get ahead, to become number one, because that's like the big thing in Chinese culture, is to be the best. And if you're not the best, you're a loser. That's their cultural beliefs, apparently, from what I'm to understand, from what people are discussing on social media. And you got to think about that. Like, geez. Because there's so many things that I've heard, and of course, these are all things that I hear hearsay. But I've known personally, when I worked at a helicopter company, through other people who I've known who worked for other major corporations, that Chinese mindset when it comes to their business is basically just that. It's like, we're going to get ahead no matter what. If it means selling the most subpar product just so we can sell it for the cheapest price and win the contract so that we have business, that's exactly what we'll do. Seriously. But it's funny because I can tell you firsthand, all right, that dealing with China and them as at a business level can be a very daunting task, because a lot of the times they make promises and then they can't keep them. They'll say, we're going to provide you a product of this quality, and then they give you a bunch of crap that falls apart. And now you're like, well, what? I just paid you a bunch of money in this contract for this product that was supposed to be good. You gave me a bunch of garbage that broke and snapped, and it's trash, you know? But they got the contract, they made the money, so in their mind, they got ahead, you see? So I'm looking at this trailer side by side, and I'm like, my God, what would possess a company to literally steal every frame of animation from someone else to advertise their game? Oh, because in their cultural mindset, we don't care how we do it as long as we do it. Here's a trailer for another game that looks outstanding and amazing. And Final Fantasy XIV currently is known as one of, if not the biggest MMO. So people are saying it's so successful, just copy what the big guys did, right? It's just wild. So to me, it's like, I could understand if your entire culture is just telling you, get ahead, and if you don't get ahead, you're a loser, right? You're worthless to society if you can't succeed. I can understand why people would do stuff like this, right? Seriously, I could completely and utterly understand, you know, how that could be. Man, what a way to live, you know? And I'm not going to give political commentary, because certainly I don't live in China, nor do I know much about it, you know. I'm just going by what I'm being told on social media and what I've heard from other people. But what a life to live in a different culture like that, where you can't, like, think about that. In the United States, we're told, be yourself. Do what you think is right. Enjoy life, you know what I mean? Be an individual. All that is, like, the utmost important. Then, hey, if you can be successful in life with business or something else, great. But that's not what is the determining factor in your worth as a human, right? Not everyone can be insanely rich, insanely successful, insanely whatever. Just be yourself and be happy with yourself, and that's where true happiness comes from. That's what we're taught as Americans. In their Chinese culture, apparently it's, no, you're just successful, and if you're not, you're a loser. You fucking waste of life. Like, oh my God, what a way to go through life, right? Holy shit. So, man, I can understand, man, we got a game, and we need to advertise this new thing right away, and we have deadlines, and we have no way to pump out an original good trailer. Copy what they did. Word for fucking word, frame for frame, just copy that shit. Oh my God. It's weird because we really do live, at least as Americans here, okay? We live in a very insulated environment. We live in an environment where we don't get exposed to cultures that aren't like us very often. And it's funny because a lot of the times you'll get some major culture shock when you finally hear about news stories about cultures around the world that aren't like yours. This is a case where it's like, holy crap, this is a huge disconnect in a mindset of a way of life. And that the fact that they would do something like this, and it's just okay for them. To them, that's, hey, trailer's out, fuck it. We don't care. Trailer's out. Now people will buy the game. But you don't feel wrong that you stole? No, fuck that. Who cares, right? They just don't feel that. And they also don't feel like there's any risk. Like, to them, they probably like, there's no risk. Who's gonna chance going international to sue us about this? No one's gonna care about that. You know what I'm saying? So, holy crap, man. Hopefully, this is a situation where this isn't something that they do all the time, and hopefully there's maybe, I don't know, like I said, with international business law and stuff, is there even anything you can do if someone blatantly steals your stuff? Can you even go after them? You know what I mean? Like, or is this a situation where you're just fucked? You know, oh well, they stole it. Is it really worth starting an international incident over someone stealing your game trailer? Is there any way to go after someone for that? I don't know. But I've never seen anything like that before. That I saw this on Twitter this morning. I was like, what the shit? You know? I seriously can't believe that this happened. So, all right. Anyway, I thought that was an interesting news story. Shout outs. Let's get the shout outs, my friends. So let's start here with YouTube side contributions. We've got Chef Venus, who did the first super chat of the day. He said, with love from Max Ammo. Thank you, Chef Venus, and I guess thank you, Max Ammo. All right. Shooter McGavin did a super chat. He says, Phil, I'm from China. I repatriated to the USA. Some of the things you're saying about Chinese culture is alarming. It's alarming, huh? I'm just telling you what was on social media this morning. I'm not telling you that's truthful or not. I'm telling you this is what is on social media this morning. That's all I'm saying. So, if you got an issue, you don't have an issue with me. You got an issue with social media. Because I don't know if it's true or not. I don't live in China. That's why I always preface everything I say. I don't live in China. I don't know. All I know is hearsay, what I hear from other people. But that's what they're saying. Like, you got to wonder why people would be acting like that, right? Why would you steal the trailer? That's pretty crazy. Chef Venus did another super chat. He says, be careful. If the U.S. and China go to war, it could restrict your streaming capabilities, and Kojima will win. I'm very sure that what I say on this stream will cause an international incident. Absolutely. Right? Yes. No. That's ridiculous. Okay. Anyway. So, let's see here. That's Chef Venus. Let's do that. That's the latest super chat. Here we go. Alright, could you please stop spamming characters, mouth drool, and moron before I ban you? Because I'm about to ban you right now without any remorse. Seriously. Just ban your ass. I don't have to worry about it. Okay. As for tip contributions today, we start off with F. Goji Tanks, who tipped me $2 and says, have a good stream, Phil. I completely agree. It's a filler-type game. Now, he was talking about what I was saying earlier, the Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. Yeah, I agree. Like, I feel like, again, if this was a different time of year, I probably would have absolutely played it and enjoyed it. But at this point, I just don't think it fits into my schedule. You know what I'm saying? If it had more content maybe or something, but I just don't see myself playing this game at length, so I'm not doing it. Tarantula MS 1995 is tipped $5. Says, hey, Phil, what's going on, Tarantula? It's good to see you today. Tarantula 1995 $5 tip. Thank you very much, Tarantula. I appreciate that. It's good to see you. I'm doing well today. I'm excited for Lost Judgment for sure. I cannot wait for a nice, fun, chill Lost Judgment stream. Okay. By the way, I do want to say something. I want to shout out someone overnight. I received a tip from someone. I'm assuming the reason they tipped me overnight is because they didn't want to have big hoopla or anything on the stream. So I'm not even going to say their name because I think they purposely did it overnight to not get hoopla. But there is someone who tipped me overnight and basically said that they wanted to contribute behind the scenes because they like my fighting game coverage. And they said, whatever fighting game is the next game that I may be playing, whether it be Nickelodeon, maybe I'll eventually try Melty Blood, maybe it could be something different. For me, you know, I'm looking at the landscape of fighting games coming out, and likely the next one that I'm going to be interested in is probably going to be King of Fighters 15, which is in February, I believe. That's probably the next big one that I'm actually genuinely excited for. So, anyway, someone took me behind the scenes to help with that. They said, I hope that this just helps with whatever it is the next fighting game you play, because I like your fighting game coverage. So, thank you very much to that person. I appreciate that. And again, didn't want to blow up your spot, because obviously you tipped overnight for a reason. So, thank you for that. Okay. Now, some people seem incredibly confused about the tips goal. I guess you guys weren't here yesterday. So, I'm going to answer your question since you guys seem incredibly confused about the tips goal. The tips goal is a 3-tiered goal. The first tier is $50. At $50 raised, I put on my Gunner glasses. Then, the tier 2 goal is $100. Then the leaderboard will change and say we're working towards the $100 goal. If we hit that, you guys will vote on a hat for me to wear today. Okay? If we hit the tier 3 goal, that's $150, and then the leaderboard changes again. This is a change I made yesterday because people were saying the leaderboard didn't make sense. The leaderboard was saying the goal's $150 when there's 3 tiers and you get other rewards under there. So it didn't make sense because it would look like, oh, there's no way we're getting any rewards, so forget it, and people wouldn't contribute, when in reality, they should be working towards the next tier of goal rather than the overall goal. You see what I'm saying? I took this in as feedback yesterday and it seemed to work well. People seem to enjoy it. Oh, we're going to work towards the goal that's there rather than the goal that's 2 goals ahead, you see? So there you go. So, thank you. To anyone who contributes in any way, I really appreciate that. And I hope that makes sense now. Okay? Alright. Alright, that is it, guys. There's no more contributions or anything. So I guess we can go on a brief break. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see here. Long live Eddie Guerrero has tipped me $2 and says, regarding the game trailer being ripped off, when you said lying, cheating, and stealing to get ahead, I immediately thought of wrestling legend Eddie Guerrero, God rest his soul. Absolutely. And of course, that's exactly where I got that phrase from. Being a long-term wrestling fan, it's exactly what popped into my head. So, all right, thank you for the $2 tip. Guys, that is it. Let's take a break. When I come back from this break, it's time for Lost Judgment. All right? 3+ hours of fun Lost Judgment coming up. Hope you guys are excited. I don't know if I'll go right into side content or story. I don't know. The game is so much content at this point, I don't think it really matters. And everything's entertaining. So, I'll see you all after a brief break. Thank you guys, and I'll see you in a few.